I be peaceful and at ease, and may I be happy. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease, and may I be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease, and may you be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease, and may you be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease, and may we be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease, and may we be happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease, and I am happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. I am happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease, and I am happy. I am happy. I am happy.
Good morning, everybody. Beautiful day here at the Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Jay Lang, the spiritual director here. So good to have everybody here online as well as here in person. If this happens to be your first time here, welcome. It's a beautiful day we have here, beautiful music and beautiful prayers that we have. So I'm so glad you're here to join in this community. And we are welcomed with music this morning too with Astra. Let's welcome Astra.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. All right, I want to hear you sing out. Repeat after me. Spectacular joy. Incredible joy. Joy. Miraculous joy. Miraculous joy. Spectacular joy. You got it. I know what freedom feels like because I choose. Sing that with me. I know what freedom feels like because I choose.
Yeah, you sounded great today. And I just love that thought about we find freedom when we choose it. Okay, it's not out there, it's right here. So thank you. Lovely song. I've heard that many times, and it seems like many of your songs I hear a new time every time I hear them, sort of like the fresh eyes, the Buddhist beginner's eyes that Buddhism talks about. So welcome, everybody. We like to begin our service with our vision and mission statement. So if you'll look up on the screen, or if you're at home or somewhere online, you can look at your screen there and repeat with me. We are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. And so it is. So a couple of announcements before we begin our sacred part of our service. The biggest one is we have a class that starts on Thursday. It's not too late to sign up, but today is the day to do it. If you want to do it or online, you can do it either way. It's going to be a 6 weeks class on Thursday nights, starting at 6:30 to 8:30. And we're going to have the chance to not only talk about affirmative prayer, but practice it. I think it's one of we talk about it being essential to our beliefs, but a lot of people hesitate because it seems complicated, and it's not. So both in today's service and also after the service, I'm doing an hour-long workshop on it, and then the 6-week class, so many times for you to get acquainted. Some people aren't able to make it on Thursday night, so come to the workshop right after. We'll start at noon, be finished by 1. I know there's some football game on at 1 if you care about that kind of stuff, but if you don't, then it doesn't matter. But it's just a time to immerse yourself in what prayer is and let it be more natural to you. Let it be when you see an ambulance or you hear something in the news, let it be your response. That you turn to prayer, you turn towards knowing oneness, which is the first step. So a great way to do that. So like I said, today, right after the service at noon here in the sanctuary, available on Zoom, and I'll give that to Shauna to send out. Maybe you can find it on our online place, our Zoom account. So go to that if you're interested in that. You can participate that way. And also the class is hybrid, so you can do that too. So, and sign up for the class. And like I said, that's the free workshop that's happening. It says 12:15, but we'll get started by 12. I'm sure we'll be able to do that. And even if you're not thinking about doing the class, it's a great introduction to the class if you want to know more about it, but it doesn't just show up if you're not thinking about the class at all. So that'll be great. This coming Saturday is our regular healing circle. We try to do those once a month, and that's just a time to gather, to share what's going on with ourselves. I'll have a brief little talk, 5 minutes, and then mainly it's about sharing that which is you're being called to heal, whether body, mind, heart, or soul. And we'll probably do some prayers. We'll probably talk. We'll support whatever it is that seems appropriate to do in that circle. It's kind of an open circle to do that. 9 to 11:30 on Saturday. And then also next Sunday's really fun. We're going to install a new practitioner, Carmina Chavez. She has been our first graduate of our Spanish-speaking classes. And so you don't see her here very much, but you'll get to know her next Sunday. We'll have a reception for her, as well as we're going to install her in the Spanish-speaking service, which will be right after that. So it'll be great. She'll have a double installation there. And also, not on, I don't have a slide for it, but there's also in October, Bodhi is having a sound healing. So that's something. And there is something else on here. Yes, I just had that out. I knew there was another announcement. So September 21st is our fall equinox and ritual. It's a good time just to gather to align ourselves with earth-based rituals. It's the natural way that Native Americans and indigenous people always did it. And they had a more intuitive sense about the land and the waters and the air. And so it gives us a chance to align with that. And something fun we're going to do is, an option is to bring some sort of something to share that has related to the harvest theme. So you can interpret that ever how you want to, and you don't even have to make it. You know, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, those things they have harvest food there, so something to share with everybody there. And that also happens to be International Peace Day. That the Japanese people started that, and we're going to continue that as part of the United Nations celebration, both Sunday morning and during the solstice, or the equinox ritual. So we are founded in prayer, and like I mentioned before, it's an integral part of what the practitioners and I do. We love to pray for you. So if you have a prayer request, feel free to stay after the service and meet with a practitioner in a one-on-one brief prayer, or fill out a prayer request, or on either online or in the lobby. Yes.
Can we remind everyone that
Oh,
the
yeah.
Region Napa meeting for September is this coming Tuesday, the 9th at 5:30 at Napa Methodist.
Okay, so let me announce that so people online can hear that too. The pro-inclusion meeting is on Tuesday at 5:30 at the Methodist Church. And you're going to continue talking about the sign campaign. You're doing the positive kindness signs.
Right. We'll have new information about the Positive Yard Sign campaign.
Positive yards.
Some fun information about the division of the Positive Poster Project. And we have special guests from Moving Forward Towards Independence.
Okay, so great. Special guest, and continue to talk about the positive sign campaign. So hope you can make it. If you've never been to it, now's a great time to get involved, because they'll need more people to help distribute these signs. So a great time to get involved and being involved in an active project like that. So thank you. Now we'll begin the sacred time.
So I invite you to sing along or just close your eyes and listen.
As the wind blows, I let go. As the wind blows, I let go. Let go, let God, let go, let God, let go, let God, let go. As the wind blows, I let go. As the wind blows, I let go. Let go, let God, let go, let God, let go, let God, let go. As the river flows, I let go. As the river flows, I let go. Let go, let God, let go, let God, let go, let God, let go. As the river flows, I let go. As the river flows, I let go. Let go, let God, let go, let God, let go, let God, let go. As I breathe in, I let go. As I breathe out, I let go. Let go, let God, let go, let God, let go, let God, let go. As I breathe in, I let go. As I breathe out, I let go. Let go, let God, let go, let God, let go, let God, let go. Let go, let God,
and be still. Be still and know that I am God. I am still in thy presence, quiet, peaceful. God, I realize your presence in all things, in Astra's touching, inspiring music, in Reverend Jay's heartfelt and special message today. God, I know your presence in all the beautiful souls gathered here today. O Most High within, my heart knows of thee. And in the silence, I know there's only one. And a deep breath. And good morning to everyone. Wasn't that music this morning beautiful, wonderful? Thank you, Astra. And I have to confess to you, I cannot sing. At least not in the way you'd want to hear. The best I can do, and I really can do this, I sing like Bob Dylan. Gritty, grainy, raspy, nasal. And speaking of Dylan, he's got a song called You Gotta Serve Somebody. Who knows that? Oh, wow, okay. It did win a Grammy. And in that song, he reminds us that no matter who you are, no matter what your life looks like, you're serving somebody. Now, I'm not here to interpret Dylan's theology, but I do think that he was onto something with this song about service, because service takes many forms. For some people, service is hands-on, cooking meals, caring for someone, volunteering, giving time, energy. And for others, all over the globe, it is quiet work. It is steadfast work. It is the work of holding consciousness, the work of holding prayer. And that's like our practitioners. Raise your hand if the practitioners here. Let's see you. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All practitioners study. They're trained in the science and in the methodology of prayer. But more than that, they're also trained in service. Because if you think about it, everything we do, everything we say is service, is a kind of prayer, if we only knew it. And your practitioners do know this. They dedicate themselves to that truth. And the practitioners serve this community. They serve you. They serve all of us by lifting our consciousness week after week after week. And it's what we call the ministry of prayer, if you're new or haven't been coming here for a while. And more than that, this service that the practitioners provide is not just for the collective as a whole. It is yours. It's individual. Each one of you can individually request and receive prayer. Anyone. You do not have to be a church member. And your request can be for anyone or for any kind of situation. And you can do it multiple ways. Right now, after service, if you want immediate prayer, just come and ask us. Might be a bit awkward, but we'll find a way here. You can pick up a prayer request form out in the vestibule. Just fill it out, drop it in the box, or anytime you can leave a message at the center's office. But I want you to know, and I just want you to get that your practitioners are here for you. We're here to be of service. Out in the courtyard today, come say hi to us. We'd love it. And then stay for Reverend Jay's sneak preview for the class. Now, in the final analysis, does God answer prayers? Jimmy Carter says, yes, he does. God answers all prayers. Sometimes the answer is yes. Sometimes the answer is no. And sometimes the answer is, you have got to be kidding me. Then, finally, there's the woman who said, God has not always answered my prayers. If he had, I would have married the wrong man several times. So thank you very much. Always nice to be with you.
Testing 1, 2, check 1, 2. Can you hear me now? Yeah? Okay. All right, I'm going to bring a little rhythm to Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living. So I invite you to, as we enjoy this song together, I invite you to move your body if that feels comfortable. You're welcome to stand up as we infuse this message, these words, this rhythm, this beat, and this melody into who you are, being the magic. I am the magic that I see, the magic that I see, the magic seeking me. I am the magic, the sparkle out in me. Open the gifts and my heart it is the key. I am the magic that I see, the magic that I see, the magic seeking me. I am the magic, the sparkle out in me. Open the gifts and my heart it is the key. I am the magic that I see, the magic that I see, the magic seeking me. I am the magic, the sparkle out in me. Open the gifts and my heart it is the key.
How beautiful, Astra. How fun, too. Oops. Can you hand me the control there? Thanks. So good to have everybody here today. Such a beautiful day. It is September now. It's interesting because this is the latest. The first Sunday in September can be, and Labor Day was the earliest Monday it could be. So it's just that kind of month. But I also love this month. I've always looked forward to September. Being a former educator, it was a back to school time, and a lot of our youth are heading back to school, and students of all ages, including college and graduate students, and also a lot of us have been returning from August vacations, and it's kind of getting back to the rhythm of things, back into order of things, which most of our youth love that because they get to see old friends they haven't seen in a while, make new friends, meet their teacher, and get all those new little notebooks and pens and get ready. And I just love this, and I was going to share a few pictures of my grandchildren getting ready for school. Here is, see on your left is on the window side there, that's Vivian, she's 14, and Sadie, with the red hair, she's 16. So they're both in high school now, a freshman and junior in high school. And you can see it's pretty casual at school these days in Rhode Island there. And then in the Netherlands, this is Theo in the upper left-hand corner, and Bella there. A classroom, there's Olivia. She's a very studious young lady. She's in high school now too. And I wanted to also show you a picture of how kids in the Netherlands go to school. They don't walk. There are elaborate bike paths.
You tired? Ooh, a little turbo. Whoa. First day of school biking video. First day of school biking video. Yay!
There's no buses. So it's really, I think, a very healthy way of life. And Netherlands can get dark and cold in the winters, and they still ride that bike. So it's amazing. So I always think of as they're not them. I'll explain what that is. I realize a distraction. So when I think about adults sometimes, including myself, when it's time to come back from a vacation, time to get back into a routine, we're a little more hesitant. We're wondering if we, that which we left in our daily stresses, our daily grind, if you want to call that, did we get enough rest? Did we get enough vacation? Did we get enough inspiration that we can get back into that routine? And the reason I had this picture of the kids jump roping was not I knew these kids, but I just thought it was a fun picture because sometimes I think of us getting back into our routine, it's like stepping onto a jumping rope. You're like, okay, now you're trying to get your rhythm, right? But as adults we go, no, I don't want to do that. So because that routine can sometimes become mundane and boring. But today, what we're talking about is how the ordinary can be magical. And the spiritual path is everyday life. I mean, yes, I know I just last month came back from a solar retreat where I revitalized myself out of a deeper sense of peace. I need that. But then I come back, and the reason I need that is so I can get into the rhythm of the daily life of doing the things and recognizing, not being so hypnotized by the mundane, that I'm just focused on getting these things done when there's magic in everyday life. And the spiritual path we live is everyday life. Sometimes we can feel restless in life, and we need to pay attention to that, or feel irritated for whatever reason. But we walk through it as unawareness. And that, in fact, all life can be sacred, not just certain aspects of it, not just here on Sunday or when you sit down to meditate, that all life can be sacred. One of my favorite authors, John Wellwood, who actually wrote a book called Ordinary Magic, but it's edited to have lots of different authors in it. It's an interesting book. But as a preface, he said the key to everyday life as spiritual practice lies in beginning to a full, rich quality of being and presence into whatever we do. Yet being and doing often seem mutually exclusive. So how can we be and do at the same time? What's interesting about this, and I've been really thinking about this a lot lately because I feel like our center is a combination of East and West. So in other words, the Eastern spiritual practices of meditation and mindfulness, and the Western feelings of love and encouragement to be kind and present also. That we combine those two. And so the book that John Wellwood edited, he talked about these different cultures, and the writers were both of East and West. But he said the cultures of the East have cultivated being for thousands of years, while rarely, until recently, placing much emphasis on doing. The cultures of the West, in contrast, have been busy cultivating doing for thousands of years, inventing, conquering, building, all sorts of things, these creative ideas that come together that are great at doing, yet they have failed to appreciate a healthy, fulfilling life and how it depends on the quality of one's being and one's presence. So I love this path that we have, that we teach here, and there are many paths that do this. Buddhism, a lot of progressive Christian, Judaism, a lot of different people are talking about this East meets West. And the key to it is to find this path in our daily life, in our being and doing, to allow the beauty and love to be part of our consciousness, our awareness, to look for it, to find it, because it's always there. The courage to open ourselves up to the isness of the present moment, while holding on to what we need to be doing, the program, the agenda, and everything else. It's really the only way to develop true compassion, and to bring that compassion into our effectiveness in the world and what we do. As we open up to this greater sense of being and doing, this integration, not being like on vacation, and then we're going to come back and do. It's being and doing at the same time. To take time in our day just to reflect and remember what's important, what our priority is. So one thing, a philosophy question sometimes that comes up is, on our spiritual path or just in life, are we the artist, the brush, or the canvas? This is one of those theological or philosophical questions that come up that people express. And this painting is a painting by Van Gogh of himself, a self-portrait. So he painted himself painting. So it's kind of that watcher watching. And I tell you, in this question, are we the artist, the brush, or the canvas? Sometimes I feel a little bit like a canvas. Like I'm just here and paint's being sloshed on me and things are happening to me and I have no control over it at all, right? And yet, when I become mindful about it, I'm aware that's a victim. That's a by me kind of consciousness. It's to me, that things are done to me. And that's not the truth. I'm not a victim. I have choice. I have freedom. And I can choose that. So it's just a momentary feeling sometimes. But I do want to be a willing vessel. I want to surrender and allow Spirit, but it can be too passive too. So that's why we do a combination of being and doing. The metaphor about an artist is also applied to a musician. As a musician, are they that, or their voice, or their instrument, or what part of this allowing Spirit to come through them is them? Mother Teresa said, "I'm a little pencil in the hand of a writing God who is sending a love letter to the world." So that means we're an instrument, so we're this pencil that's being done. But you can also think about Hafiz, the Persian poet, who said, "I'm a hole in the flute that the Spirit's breath moves through." Well, that's a cool metaphor too. But what does this mean in terms of our practical life? how does that show up in our life? What I know is, I love this painting right here. I'm not sure. I tried to find who painted it. I don't know. But I love it. It's this idea because Michael Singer says, you are not the voice of the mind. You are the one who hears it. So there is a part of us that observes ourselves in our lives that can step back from what is going on and being caught up in that to be a higher consciousness. And yet still that's so esoteric that as we want to figure out how to open up to spirit in our lives, I think we're in this body with this personality, with this opportunities for a reason. So I'm not saying to forget your sense of self. Just be open to spirit moving through the gifts and who you are and the opportunities you have. I ran across a person this week who I was totally fascinated by him. His name's Frederick Frank. He was born on the border between Belgium and the Netherlands, and he was old enough. He's passed now, but he was old enough to witness be in the Netherlands during World War II, during the Nazi occupation, and saw so much suffering happening then. So many Jewish friends who didn't survive that time. And because he was a compassionate person, he wanted to find some way to deal with his suffering. He became a Buddhist. So that was his way of understanding the suffering and yet staying compassionate. And that's the key. You know, when I first met Buddhists, they seemed to be very removed from life. And I think some may use it just like some New Thought people use it to stay distant from people, you know, as if that they've created that, I don't need to get involved in that, instead of offering compassion. And what's sad is right now, politically and even in some religions, empathy is not popular. And yet it's the teachings of every religion in the world, every religion, to be compassionate, empathetic, caring. And yet what do we do with that? We can't solve every problem. We can have this compassion and love just right where we are, that we don't want to turn off. We can feel it, and we can be aware of it, and we can do what is ours to do. So Frederick Frank, he's an artist. In his life, he was an artist, a teacher, and a writer. And he talked about this question about who are we? Are we the artist? He said, we're neither the artist nor the brush. We are the awakened eye. The awakened eye. How about that? That's very Zen, isn't it? But he taught people how to draw from this perspective, about to see things. And I will say that, you know, we talk about change our thinking, change our life. I think it's really changed our perception, our view, in an awakened way. So I have a little video here of Frederick Frank.
I wanted to symbolize this every man who has his black African aspect. And its Caucasian aspect. But they are the two aspects of the same human everyman. Social mask. And open it up and you get the true self. True self has been called the indwelling spirit, has been called the Buddha nature. I call it specifically human in us. That's a modern term. Let's put the social mask on again. And be safe.
So he's a character, right? Who else could create that but him? And yet it was guided because of this awakened eye, the sense of the Buddha nature, of being human. He said to be human against all odds, to continue to feel and be compassionate, and to open up that way. He said that you need not wait for inspiration, for it comes while you wait, for it comes not while you wait, but while you work. So this is the whole idea of being active in the world, that you're waiting for a divine revelation of what I'm supposed to do in life, when just go out and do what is close to you, and continue to be open to how Spirit shows up in that, in this way. And he also said, you do need to trust none but your own eye, and make your hand follow it. So just allow this deeper sense of self, this deeper way. Now, he lived in the United States for 30 years or so in upstate New York. He immigrated from Europe after World War II. And he brought this sense of ease to the West. But so have many other people, the transcendentalist, Emerson and Henry David Thoreau, Margaret Fuller, Bronson Alcott. And Bronson Alcott, by the way, his daughter was Louisa May Alcott, who wrote Little Women. But they turned away from the Calvinist doctrine of original sin and said that people are not fallen, they're creatures in need of redemption, but they're not fallen creatures in need of redemption, but spiritual beings capable of moral and creative greatness. They believed in a direct experience of the divine, a sense of awe in nature. They trust in individual intuition. So they brought these ideas because they had studied the Hindus, and they had studied Buddhism less so then, mainly Hinduism then. And that's how the founder of our philosophy, Ernest Holmes, came into contact with the East. Not to mention then, Ernest Holmes had moved to LA, and many of the gurus had started coming over as spiritual teachers from the East. So it's this mixture of East and West that continues to inform who we are, what we believe, and how our beliefs are unfolding in perfect ways. I will also say that Thoreau was known for going to Walden Pond and learning to be self-reliant. First of all, he did it in his 20s. And he only was there for 2 years. He went back to town after that to live with people. So it wasn't like we want to be isolated all the time, but we can find in our quiet times a greater deepness of quiet that we find. I know for myself, the solo retreats I did, I used to go backpacking and go way up there, but now it's more like retreat centers and, with running water and full kitchens. And the next year I may adjust to have somebody else cook for me. That's the only thing I'm going to do. So, we like our comforts. We don't have to not have them. The other thing is that our spiritual living matters. It makes a difference. It's not only for our peace and comfort and awareness and deeper connection and deeper love that we have, but it matters. And I love this photo because this lady is obviously practicing a spiritual practice of yoga, but probably her daughter. The work we do is also for future generations. 7 generations is what Native Americans want us to do, to consider generations to come. So we do that work for our life individually, we do it collectively, and we do it for future generations as well. There's a medicine man named Thomas Yellowtail. He was from the Crow tribe, and he says, spiritual matters are difficult to explain because you must live with them in order to fully understand them. So this whole idea, we live with spiritual principles. We don't have to have everything figured out. That we can live with confidence and love and a sense of interconnectedness. We reflect the divine nature in what we do, and we just allow beauty to unfold in all ways. This week I was kind of playing around with affirmative prayer, and I just thought I'd give it a try. I got on the computer and asked AI to write an affirmative prayer. And to my amazing, in a minute, it just started, it was about a page long. But those words had no power. They were just words on a paper. It wasn't until I spoke them, until I connected with the divine and spoke those, was there any power to those words. The power to those words, the power to our life comes from our heart, from our soul, from our engagement, our full engagement. And we can live life like on a cursory like that, on a, one back, just getting things done, or we can engage fully to show up. Like students in a class. So you think of, I remember when I was a teacher, I thought kids would like more freedom in the classroom to learn what they wanted to learn, but I found that they needed structure. They needed rules. They needed the structure of the classroom. And from there, then they would learn all these things, but they needed structure. I think we need that structure too in our lives. We need a life to say, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm doing. And in that we allow to learn, like we show up and we pay attention. And that's how we learn the lessons of life. Just like a kid sitting down in a first grade classroom. They sit down, they're present, and they pay attention. Occasionally a teacher needs to remind them to pay attention or stop talking. We get gentle reminders too that we missed something. We need to pay attention. Yesterday I was here at the center, and I noticed there was a praying mantis on the wall of the offices there. And it was tan, like brown, like stick color. I didn't know they would go that color. They do camouflage, but it takes longer for them to change from color to color. So I took it gently and put it up in the tree near some plants, and thought it would be happier. I don't know, maybe I was overreacting there. He seemed pretty happy on the wall there, but I stood there for a moment, transfixed, almost like a meditation, watching this praying mantis. And I think we just can take moments like that to allow this depth, and that feeling I had stayed with me in that way. Finally, what I want to say is that wherever we are, I am is there too. Now, the English teachers in the room are going to say, that's not proper grammar. But what I'm saying is the I am, the great I am, is there. When Jesus talked about I am the way, the way, the light, and the truth, I think I'm misquoting that possibly, but it's really I am is the way. I am, the greater I am. He wasn't talking about himself. He came from the Jewish teachings of Moses, who in the direct revelation from Spirit, God, the burning bush, says, I am that I am. So for him, I am. They didn't have being verbs in the Aramaic language, which he spoke, which he knew. So I am there means I am is there. There was no is, there was no verbs like that we would normally put in there, but that's what goes in there. And I was reading the excerpt from the book of Thomas, which is one of the it's from the Nag Hammadi. So it's a collection of Jesus's private sayings, probably first written in Aramaic, but that text was lost. But before it was lost, it was compiled into a Greek text, later translated into a Coptic, and then found in the Nag Hammadi library in 1945 that was found in caves in the desert out there. Probably originally from the Essene communities that were there, but we don't know that for a fact, but probably. So I love the phrase in there. He says, so these are Jesus' words. He says, split a piece of wood, I am is there. Lift up a stone, I am is there. I am is the light that's over all things. I am is all. So this was the basis of his teaching. It's the basis of our teachings, that these interpretations of a lot of his words that are going back to the Aramaic are coming back to this idea. And I also know this I amness is also represented in water. And the reason I like water so much is it's neutral, it's reflective, absorbent. So often when you see lake and a body of water, it appears blue. It's just a reflection of the sky. The water itself is still clear. But I love the metaphor in Hinduism. They talk about that we're a drop of water. Drop of water in the ocean, if you want to call it that. That drop is made of the same exact material composition as all the water. We are just a single drop. But we're the same. So we're an individual drop, but we're the same. We are one. We are all connected. It is all one ocean, one water. We also have to remember that Genesis, in that creation myth that is there, often I talk about the breath of spirit that is breathed over the water and the life-givingness of this breath, but it moved over the water. Let's not forget that. And the water has always been a metaphor for me in meditation. I sometimes imagine that the confusion of myself is like silt that's going down and calming. Water always finds itself to balance and calm. And it's the balance that's within us that is this knowingness. Now, what's interesting about this idea about water is, if you think of our bodies, you can imagine a body, whatever vessel that may be. Our bodies are, 80, 90% water. So we're this carrier of spirit also, a carrier of the breath that breathes over us as we find this oneness, which is all. And so our prayers that we have, our affirmative prayers, the first 2 steps of the 5 steps are about oneness, about connectedness. That we are, that God is all there is, and I and we are one with it. So water becomes an important part of what I imagine sometimes, because the water brings me down to a calmness, to a surrender. And it reminds me that we're connected in this way, that we are one, that we open up to this truth. Sometimes with kids for a lesson, when I was teaching young children in religious lessons, like at a center or something, or even with teens I do this, I would put in food color into the water, and it would turn blue or red or whatever. And then I said, this is like our mind sometimes. And then I would have a separate container unmarked of chlorine and put it in there. It would become clear again. I said, this is like meditation. It just clears the mind. So our minds can definitely become murky. And we can clear it out. Just let it be. Allow that, like the moon reflecting the light that is in all. When Jesus was asked how to pray, he what's reported in the Bible is what's called the Lord's Prayer. And traditional, if you grew up in a Protestant or Catholic church, you've probably heard, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. But when you take that back to the Aramaic, which was his language, what he used for God was Abun, which is still a personal name for God because he had a personal relationship with Spirit. But in the interpretation from the Aramaic, it's O Birther, Father, Mother of the cosmos. You create all that moves in light. Thy heaven, thy kingdom is within me. I open in sacredness by saying, or it could have been chanting, one person I read believes, Abun. And Abun to me almost sounds like Om. It's a sound where you carry the vocal cords out and it resonates in your body. So here he is, the way he drops into this, and this is the way we start our prayer as well. In a sacredness, a knowingness. So if you come today, we can talk more about that, or in the class we can talk more about that. But for now, I just want you to know to reset ourselves occasionally to remember the magic that's in the ordinary. That our everyday life, it may seem like a routine, but there is within that magic in the space between the things we're doing. And that if we come from being an openness, a trusting, that we can find this magic in the ordinary, and our everyday life can become a spiritual path. So let's take a moment to pray now. So as I touch this water, it is a reminder of the freshness and aliveness that Spirit is in my life. The very knowingness that's within me is God, the very awareness. And whether I'm a pen or a brush or a human being, I know, Spirit, if I am willing, and in this moment I am willing, that we are willing to allow Spirit to come through us, to express through us in this beautiful way. That it helps us bring an awareness of life, and we know that Spirit is the awakening eye, the awakening listening, the awakening knowing within us that brings us to a greater realization, a greater truth, a greater life, a greater joy. We know this is Spirit moving through us, and this is a constant, a beauty, a love, a truth within us. And for this we're grateful as we release it back into the water and letting it go and letting it be, trusting that Spirit is always guiding us towards the right and perfect choices today and always. And so it is.
Days they come and days they go. What you plant is what will grow. And you sow, you sow, you sow. Something's gonna grow. So you want it all, give it all you want. So you know it all, give it all you want, give it all you want. Time feels fast and time feels slow. The clock ticks by, I watch it go. And it goes, it goes, it goes. Something's gotta grow. So you want it all, give it all you want. So you know it all, give it all you want, give it all you want. Lightning strikes and shakes us to the core. Shifting light has not been done before. Tend the fire that burns within your soul. Trust yourself, you'll know, you'll know, you'll know. Love surrounds and overflows. The more I give, the more it shows. And it flows, it flows, it flows. Love is gonna grow. So you want it all, give it all you want. So you know it all, give it all you want. So you want it all, give it all you want. So you know it all, give it all you want, give it all you
Thank you, Astra. Beautiful, beautiful. Now is the time in our service when we invite you to be part of the law of circulation. If our ushers will come forward. We appreciate all that you give in terms of time, talent, and treasure to this center. It continues to feed our vision and mission as we move out into the world, loving unconditionally and doing good and loving big and creating greater things out in the world. So thank you. There are numerous ways to give. We appreciate that. Whether you've given in the past or you're giving today, we are grateful for that. And I'd like to invite you to take your hand and put it over your heart to represent that which you've given today or in the past, and repeat with me the affirmation that's on the screen. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate, and so it is.
Won't you join me in our gratitude? I am thankful, so thankful. Ooh. Let's sing that again. I am thankful, so thankful. Ooh. Claim it. I am, I am, I am. So thankful, joyful. I am joyful, so joyful. Ooh. I am joyful, so joyful. Ooh. I am, I am, I am. I am so joyful.
All right, beautiful, beautiful. And thank you, everyone. I know that which you've given continues to be blessed, that Spirit moves through us to use it in the highest and best way. So thank you for trusting us with that. There will be times in October that if you want to meet with the board or anytime you want to talk to a board member about how we use your funds, you're welcome to do that. We want to be transparent in all things. If you happen to be here for the first time, we'd like to acknowledge you in this service. If you're willing to raise your hand, we have a gift for you. So if you're willing to do that. What we appreciate, I would say it's a great time to invite in this fall time. That it's a great time to invite friends to come join us for this service. There's always some good music and good messages here, so thank you for inviting and being a part of that. We do have refreshments out in the courtyard. You're welcome to join us, all people, and honor that. But we have a blessing for our new guest here. What? Oh, it's that time, isn't it? Well, let's so. See, it seems like the second Sunday already, right? The first Sunday of the month, we like to acknowledge people's birthdays. So if it's your birthday, you're willing to acknowledge. We got birthdays here. Oh, lots of September birthdays. September birthdays. Awesome, awesome. And here, back here, yes. What about anniversaries? Any anniversaries? 36 years. That's why you were telling me about it. That's right. 36 years. Anybody else have anniversaries? We also honor anybody who has a sobriety anniversary. We know that it's confidential, it's anonymous, so we don't ask you to raise your hand, but we just want to acknowledge that path and your clarity on that path to continue that. So thank you for that's a spiritual path as well and everything. So thank you. So now can we do? Okay. All right. For our new guest and for our birthday girls and boys here, we say, we bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community, and so it is. It's great, wonderful. And I'd like to invite the practitioners to come forward. It's a time for prayer. If you want to, after the service, please. You're welcome to mingle with people as people exit and things like that, but let them go on out to the courtyard and just stay in here. And then we have 4 practitioners today. Any one of them would be glad to find a place in the sanctuary where it feels confidential and quiet and offer that prayer. But once again, we also have prayers in the lobby or online. You can fill those out. We usually have, I don't know, probably 30 prayers every Tuesday. So it seems it's a love to do that. So bring them on. And now let's all stand for the congregational affirmation, followed by the closing song. Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
I'm led by Spirit.
I'm led by Spirit.
I'm guided by wisdom.
I'm guided by wisdom.
I'm protected by love.
I'm protected by love.
I'm here to be a blessing.
I'm here to be a blessing.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
And so it is.
So it is.
So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now.
So as we go forward, we know that that which we do in our everyday life is sacred and beautiful. And so it is. Have a great Sunday.